Hello YouTube, it's me, UltimateTechT. So, how have you been? So today I'm going to be showing off my custom build PC. So just to mention that all the parts used in this PC were bought used. So most of them I bought locally, but I did buy a few parts online through eBay. And yeah, so the reason I bought it used, I won't go through detail, but it's because I cut down the price to $355, so that was the total in Canadian dollars as of summer 2015. So that's when I built it. I built it starting early July to early August. I finished off the build, and now I want to show it off to you guys and show you that you could actually get a really good PC if you buy it used, and you won't run through many problems. I did go through one problem where one component didn't work, so I had to return it to the owner. But yeah, so I'll do a rundown of all the parts that I used and individual price of everything. So the total was $355 Canadian currency. It might vary in your country. US dollars much less, but maybe in euro or pound, stuff like that. You guys could do the conversion if you want. But yeah, this is as of summer 2015 that I built it. And yeah, so let's start off. Also, I'd like to mention that this is my first PC that I built, and I did make some mistakes in the components that I used, but if I were to redo this, I would have built a much better PC, but I might do it in the future. Maybe next year or something, I might build another one and then sell this or something. I don't know. So yeah, leave your suggestions down below if you guys have any suggestions or comments or how I could fix this, make it nicer. I do plan on modding it and painting this case to my preference and stuff like that. So I'm going to do a close-up of all the parts and explaining why I bought it and stuff like that. So let's start it off. So I'll start off by showing you guys the case. So the case that I bought was a full ATX Cooler Master CM Storm Stryker case. So I'll just do an overview of it. So I got a good deal on this case. I only bought it for $80. It was brand new, still in the original packaging that I bought it from the owner. I guess he decided to never use it, but yeah, I mean, compared to my other components, I did go overboard on this, but I really like the case, and the key features that I enjoy the most is the fact that you could increase and decrease the fan speed, turn on the LEDs and stuff like that, and it's really sleek, as you guys could tell. And yeah, so it's a white case. I really wanted the white case since it contrasted my black table. Here you could see the water cooling tubes, the ports, and I might do water cooling in the future. And yeah, so I won't go in depth with the case. You guys could search it, or I might do a future video on just the case. And yeah, so now let's move on to the other components. Okay, so I opened up the case, and you guys could see the inside. So with the case, there was 4 fans that came with it. There's 2 120mm fans. There's one 140mm fan, and then on top, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a 200mm fan. And that keeps the case really cool, and all the components are very cool in it. So I'll start off with the big brick down here. It's my power supply, so I'll let you guys read it. I know it's an older power supply. I got it cheap. I only got it for $35. I've heard a lot of good reviews on Seasonic, and the 80+ certification really helps out. I know it's not modular, but I tried to hide all the cables. As you guys can see, I don't have the best cable management, but I tried to do my best and keep the cooling fine. Comment down below if you guys have any suggestions. The main thing that really bugs me is this big white cable that comes down, and all these bottom cables. I don't know how to get rid of them and how to hide them, but yeah. So let's start off with the motherboard. So the motherboard is an Asus F1 A55MLE motherboard. So it has 2 RAM slots, and then the socket is an AM1 chip. So originally I bought the motherboard and the RAM, and then a processor with it for $80. So the processor, I decided to upgrade it since it was only on A4, and I wanted the best processor I could get. I know I shouldn't have done that, and I should have just gone with a new motherboard, but I decided to find the best processor for the motherboard, which was an Athlon II X4 651K processor. it is the new processor is quad core, clocked at 3 gigahertz. It is unlocked, so I could do some overclocking, but not much. So yeah, the motherboard and the RAM cost me $80, and then the processor, I bought it off eBay for $60. And so I mean, I did go wrong with those components, the motherboard and processor. I might upgrade it in the future, maybe by the end of the year if I get enough money. And just to mention that I didn't have all this money with me. I did borrow some from my parents. I will pay them back, but I don't have $355 cash with me at the current moment. But I did promise that I'll pay them back. They didn't pay for all of it, just some of it. And now we'll move on to the graphics card. So this is a GTX 670 graphics card. So it's Gigabyte Windforce 2 fans. This 670, I bought it for only $100. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I know there is other GPUs that are much better, but still you would have to pay a lot more. I am planning on upgrading it maybe to a 700 series or 900 series, but yeah, it will do fine with me right now. I could game most games at medium to high settings, run around 40 to 50 FPS. So yeah, that's pretty much my system. So I'll just do an overview of it. Comment down below if you guys have any questions, any comments or anything like that. And yep, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys subscribe and like, and stay tuned for more videos. I will do more custom PC builds, and I will do a few tutorials. If you guys have any questions, ask me. If you guys are wondering how to do cable management, I am a newbie at this since this is my first PC build, but I could help you guys out with the techniques that I use. So even though this is not a modular power supply, I decided to hide all the cables in the back, the ones that I didn't use. And most of the ones that I use these little ports to transport them. So I slide them through there and then put them through the other port. And yep. So also about the hard drive. The hard drive, I had it from another PC. It's a 500 gigabyte 7200 RPM hard drive. It's not the best. I am planning on getting an SSD and a new hard drive just to do a lot of gaming and recording on this. But for now, this PC does me fine. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, comment that down below. As always, if you guys want to share this with your friends, share it. And I would greatly appreciate it. And yep, so as always, please like, subscribe, and share. And see you next time at UltimateTech.